Before we add more complexity to our game, we're going to add a service to make things easier. Specifically, we're going to make it easier for us to share our game with friends, family, or other students. And we're going to do that by automating our build process. To start, we need to go to the services window and we're going to hit explore. This should bring up the packages manager with all of our services available. So it's going to go to this services tab. And I want to find the cloud build package that's inside the DevOps section and then choose install. This is going to install the build system that allows me to automatically get a build whenever I do a commit with Plastic. So I'll do a commit or a check-in and a build will happen automatically that I can share with other people without me having to go through a manual process, upload a file or anything like that. So once I've started and I've imported it, I'm going to get this link Unity project option. I'm going to need to go to my project settings and set up my project with my Unity account. So let's do that now. I'll hit the project settings button and I'm going to choose new link. I'll select an organization. I'll use my organization that I have and hit create project ID. This is going to give me a project named Alien Blaster, and it's going to ask me right down at the bottom whether or not this is targeted at children under age 13. I'm just going to say no because it is definitely not. It's not really targeted at anybody, and then we'll hit the save button. Now I'm going to go to my cloud build section. So now notice that we have a cloud build option underneath project settings. And right up here in the top right corner, you can see that it's not turned on yet. So I need to check it and enable cloud build. Once it's enabled, it'll update in here and it's going to give me the option to upload a build, add a target, or look at my build history. But what I really want to do is I need to add a target and I want to do that. Well, here, let's just hit the add target button. It'll open up my dashboard. See, I want to do it through the dashboard, but that's what it's going to do. It's going to open up my dashboard. So I'll open up the dashboard. It's going to have me sign in. And if yours initially looks like this, it's fine. Just hit that take me home button. And it should look like this. And if you see this section right here, it says latest builds, no builds, and you've got a cloud build section. I can just click on this, go back to my build section, and then I need to set up a build target. It says no build available yet. So I'll hit set up a build target, and then I do have source control. So I'm just gonna hit get started. And then we need to choose our source control type, which is going to be Plastic SCM right up at the top. And next we need to put in our source control provider URL. And you put the mouse over, you see that it wants your organization at cloud. And mine is Game Courses at cloud. Yours is going to be different though. If you're not sure what yours is, make sure that you go to your project and look down here at the bottom right. Mine's Alien Blaster at Game Courses at cloud. Yours is going to be something else. Whatever you set up the name of your organization as, that's what it's going to be. So it could be Alien Blaster if you use that, but only one person could have that. So I'm sure it's something else. So make sure that you put in the correct organization there. And so your organization name at cloud, will leave authenticate with Unity ID on, everything else default, and hit the save button. This should create or link up our source control. There we go. It says that our settings have been successfully saved. Now I'm going to go over to the configurations window. I'm going to hit the quick target setup and we're going to choose a WebGL setup. What we're going to do is have this build us a WebGL version of our game so we can play it in a web browser and then just share that with other people very easily without even having to send them an executable. Now it's got the option here. Well, it has a couple options. First, there's a repository option. I've got lots of projects. It knows which one I want though, Alien Blaster. So we're going to use that. And then it wants to know which branch to use. We only have one branch, which is main, and we're going to stick with that. We don't need a subfolder, and we can allow it to use the latest 2022 or build with the one that we have. I'm just going to allow it to use the latest, and then we'll hit next, and we can let it build from a Mac. I don't really care what system it's building from. It's for a WebGL build. And then we've got some options for scheduling. Do we want to auto build whenever we get a new repository update? Do we want to auto cancel? Which the answer to that is yes, so I'm going to check it. Do we want to auto cancel if we have a build pending and a new build is triggered? Probably. So if we check in and we check in again, do we want to build all of those versions or we just want the latest? I think just the latest. And then do we want a recurring or a repeating build schedule? So if we don't want one every time, we might want to have like a daily build or every 2 hours or whatever. I don't want that though. I just want every time I commit to do a new build. So we'll hit save configuration. And we are done. That's all we need to do to set up our build automation. Now I want to actually force a build though. To do that, I'm going to click the build button. And then we'll choose the latest. Oh, I don't need to choose a chain set. We'll just hit the build button and it'll use the latest. That's if you want to specify a specific change set to build instead of doing the latest. So I'm going to have it kick off a build for the latest version of our game. And that is going to take a while. I'll hit build view details. Just remember that when you do these builds, especially on the free version, it's going to take a while for the build to complete. It's not something that happens instant. It's not automatic. It's not nearly as fast as if you run it locally, but it is very easy to share with other people. Look down here, we've got an auto share button. We can hit view settings and we could even start to share this. I'm going to talk about sharing our project later though. For now, we'll let it build and let it finish, and then we'll take a look at the end results as soon as it's done.